Hey, folks, just a friendly reminder that all shows on the Madness Comic Network are produced by their individual hosts and in no way reflect the opinions of the network as a whole. The statements in the following broadcast are not necessarily the opinions of the Madness Comic Network, its staff, sponsors, or contributors. This show is rated TVMA, as are all of them and all those other letters. Viewer discretion is highly advised, and, just do what Doc says. Read that again. Peace, everybody.
Hey, everybody, Dirk Manning here, the writer and creator of numerous comic books and graphic novels, including Nightmare World, Tales of Mystery, Brave But Not Dead, all kinds of stuff. And I am super excited for you because you are getting to watch right now, right this moment, out of all the things we're going to be doing, you're getting to enjoy and revel in the Madness Comic Network. And that is awesome. Thank you for being here.
Flip City Magazine is just really pulling out all the stops, man. Your guys' production value of this magazine has gone insane. I mean, look at that. I mean, I remember when you guys, it was black and white. Even when it was black and white, I thought your quality was great. But damn, they just really stepping it up a notch. Look at this. James Corbett, boys. James Corbett.
Genuinely cutting, but also funny, and obviously just chaotic and very fun.
I love Flip City. It has brought new types of badassery and integrity to the print medium.
just because somebody's got to fill the gaping hole in the industry. Finally, Pops has come back to Twitter. Holy crap. We're back. We got our account back. I don't know how. Jesus, what a day. What a day. Thought the whole thing was going to hell. The computer was messed up. Nothing was working. Had a few different people trying to help me make it work. And we finally got it to work. Started my earlier show just a little bit late, but we got it to work finally. And it was like, what the heck, man? Now I'm looking over here and I'm seeing that we lost one of our Facebook destinations. I'm gonna have to try and fix that real quick. I'm sorry for those of you watching over there on the Still Toking Facebook group, but connection. Yes, there it is. Okay, we're there. We're everywhere. I'm posting this video to both my old Twitter account, my new Twitter account, the old one being the one with 1,800 followers and the new one being the one with the 100-something followers. I won't be using the 100-something followers anymore because I'm probably locked out of it now that I can get into my usual one again. They both use the same phone number for two-step verification. I don't know how they got it so messed up, but they let me back into the one, and I'm pretty sure I can't get into the other now. So I can still broadcast to them both thanks to StreamYard and the destinations that we have set up. But man, Facebook does not like what we're doing today. First it kicked me off Still Tokens. Now it's kicking me off my own Facebook page. It says, no, Pops, you can't do that. And I say to them, why, yes, I can. It's mine. I'm allowed. It's my show on my Facebook page. Thank you. Thank you very much. Hi, Lou. What's up, Lou? We'll be talking to you about you in just a few, because my guest today, my first guest, who actually introduced me to my second guest, believe it or not. Our first guest, though, you guys know him. He runs the Slaughterville RPG game on Fridays, and he is the creator of Slaughterville and Gone Hunting and Got Some Metal, and he's done so much more. But check this out. It is your friend, my friend, Mr. Chris Brown. What's up, dude? What's up? Oh, now I can't hear you. Unmute myself.
¿Cómo estás?
¿Dónde está el burro?
How's it going?
Where is the donkey? I don't know.
I know, right? I've asked that for years. Hey, Lou.
It's good to see you, my friend, as always. Yeah, it was a weird. Chris was trying to help me this morning with my computer. He knows what I was going through. I was freaking stressed. I'm like, oh shit, we don't get this figured out. This network's going to hell in a handbasket really quick. Because Pops can't afford no new computer. Pops couldn't afford this one when he got the one he's got. Okay. Yeah. Now they kicked us off of the comic related madness. What is going on with Facebook?
I had that. You know what? It's the honest to God truth. Whenever I sign into Big Sexy Outdoors, it kicks it. It lets me play through Facebook, YouTube. I lied to you. YouTube and Twitter, because I'm not calling it X. I'm not gay. But as soon as Facebook comes on, it kicks it off, and then I have to reconnect Facebook every stream. It is. I don't know what Facebook's doing, but they're starting to get on my last.
This first time I've had all 3 Facebook channels.
Yep.
One after another. I had to reconnect.
Yep. Every time for me on Big Sexy Outdoors stuff. Yeah. Swear to God.
What is up? What's up, Dorn? Get together later tonight and do a little more running? Yeah, I'm good. I'm down. All I have tonight is a replay. Later tonight, we'll be replaying Rabble Rousers with Miss 1776. If y'all haven't caught her show, hilarious. They're funny. Her and Cole and whoever she has out there with them, they're always funny. So I'm glad to have them as part of the network. We have the new writer's block. Chris, I was going to ask you, even if Mike doesn't want to do this as a regular host, what if we just had a different writer every week do the same thing?
Yeah, that would be fun.
Right. If Mike's not available for the next week, would you like to do the next week as your writer? I mean,
yeah, I'll gladly stop in.
Cool. I mean, we'll just make it I mean, obviously I'd love for Mike to be able to want to do it regularly, but things, obviously life happens. It'd be nice to have a few, 3, 4, 5 different writers that maybe want to rotate through, take turns and just let the chat take shots at you. No, ask you questions.
I literally, just as you were saying this, it says we're having trouble streaming to Facebook. It's just everything. I told you every effing time.
But you know what? Your channel on Facebook is the only Facebook we've had running here that hasn't gone down yet. Oh, look. The one guy who watches on Twitch wants my money.
Yeah.
Dude,
Hi, bot. I'd like to bot you with the bots.
Tough oblitigatus. All I do is promote people. I probably work harder at promoting people than you do. So thanks, but nah, I'm good.
Yeah.
Yeah, the only person on Twitter watching.
Go to Streamrise. I don't think I ever will.
Just trying to get me to pay them to do what I do for free for people. Yeah.
1 second. Sorry, I had to blow my nose. I didn't think you'd want that in there. Okay. You here? You look frozen. I'm not sure if I'm frozen or you are. Let's try to send a message to him. Are you frozen? I should have said, are you Elsa? There we go.
It's me. All I saw was black spinning shit.
Yeah, that's what it went for me too. Yeah, it was weird. So I figured I'd refresh and get everybody back in here. I know, right? It's fun. Hey, go ahead.
What is this?
Oh, so they could hear me. That's good. I was saying I should ask if you're oh, what do you call it, Elsa? Because I kept saying, "Are you frozen?"
Yeah. We have no snow. We can't build snowmen. We have none.
See, and the weird thing is, I have friends out in Nevada who are getting like 8-10 inches every week
Mm-hmm.
of snow, not just a penis.
I hope those are your female friends. I'm just saying.
I ain't here to judge. Whatever.
I ain't here to judge either. I'm just saying that's a lot.
Yeah,
that's a lot for an alien probe, right?
That's right.
Right, Doran? Right? Mm-hmm. I'm hungry.
You'll never know what I'm gonna say, and it's much funnier for it because even I don't know what I'm gonna say.
Look, I'm hungry and I got a plate with shrimp in front of me.
Well, you can eat. I will show this.
There you go. What do we got here?
These are the stickers that are coming with book 3. So everybody that got book 3, I ordered a set of stickers. That's the first cover. That's the one, and then we got this one. They're really neat.
Don't know what he's talking about. He's talking about Slaughterville #3, the graphic novel. Cannibal Rednecks.
Yeah, Cannibal Rednecks. And so all 3 of these stickers, they feel vinyl. I think they're like 4x5 or 3x5 stickers. They're coming in with it. I have the prints coming too. They're just not in yet, but I did get something.
Oh,
I got a few. I wanted to have a print preview copy, so I got a couple of these made. I only have 10 here. So yeah, this is the one that we ran.
You'll be sending me one of those to proofread, right?
Well, yeah. But this is the one that we ran, and we had. It was the introduction to Dante and Karen.
Yes.
I only have a small stack because I just wanted to have some out for previews. But they will be available when we do the next campaign for it. What else do we have? Jeez, we got lots of them.
Hold on now. If you're going to show that one, you're going to show the other ones too. We have. Because I just got done proofreading the core book.
Mm-hmm.
The core rule book, which is this big old giant monster here. The core rules for the role-playing game.
Which I have a stack of those left that are going to be for sale soon. I just wanted to make sure everybody got theirs before I put them up for sale.
The cool thing is that you can watch us playing this.
Yep.
And you can decide whether or not it's something you might want to get into.
Just about every Friday we did it.
There's a couple stories in the back of that book.
Mm-hmm.
Right? There's 2, the Jack and the Slasher.
Yep.
Okay. So Jack the Ripper story and the Slasher story are in the back of the of the core rule book. So that's 2 stories that come with it. And then the one he just showed you is number 1. And then 2 is the New Neighbors, which we just started playing on Friday. So you'll be able to follow along with that one. And then number 3 is A Moonlit Night. So you get 5 stories with the core rule book. The core rule book, and then 3 more stories to go with it.
Yep. And then we're going to put the tourist guide out. And that's where we're going to include the doctors in there. And that's going to just be more villains, more about the town, everything. It's going to be just more.
And merch, and more merch. Yep.
Yes.
Facebook just kicked me all the way out. Nothing I put on Facebook is running right.
I told you. Yeah, it's crazy. It is crazy.
Good thing I got that Twitter back, huh? It's all about reach, bro. It's all about reach.
I always like a good reach, but that's a different thing.
It blows me away, man, because there's like a ton of people watching on Critical Blast, Twitter. Ton of people watching over there, and it's been that way for a couple days now. At first, when we started sharing stuff over there, it was just like everything else. But lately, RJ channel blowing up. Oh, look, we got maps.
You can see where Dante and Karen.
That's the room that she slipped in the vomit.
That's one of them. Yeah. No, she only vomited once, slipped and vomit once, and then there was all kinds of good time.
Yeah, we the game is fun. Laurie is amazing as Karen. We have a great time doing it. The whole thing is that you can have a great time doing it too.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you can get this game. You can play it. You can hey Chris, man, can I join in on Fridays? He could probably find a spot for you, even if you wanted to come out and play the game with us live.
Yeah.
You know, look, I'm having a blast doing that. Having a blast with Doran doing the gaming streams. I don't know if you saw last night, Chris, but I gave everybody a tour of our new airship.
No, I didn't see.
Oh yeah, Chris. I think Doran went and bought a big airship, like hot tub, bathroom, bathhouse, all the. Yeah, he went and like fixed it up. Thank you, Doran. It's freaking awesome. You can go into the ship, get all the buffs. You can go transport anywhere you want. Just like, no more running through towns from one side to the other to this zone to that. No, you just go to your ship. Click. I want to go there. Boom, you're there. Hirelings, everything, like extra, like you can hire a helper. Cleric to run with you. If you're a fighter, you can hire a cleric. We can get them all right there on our boat now. We don't have to go find them in the different zones and shit. Oh man, yeah. The Madness Guild on DDO Online. On the Orion server, you can join the Madness. Even in games, you can be Madness. It's crazy.
That's been going for a while.
I've been having a blast. That game's been around forever, though. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So now you have shared with me a couple links. Which one do you want to look at first?
Yep. There went Facebook. Kicked it off again. All right. You know what?
I'm
done with you. I'm done with you, Facebook. I'm done with you. All right. Let's just show the one I have shared first. This way we can get the.
Okay. Yeah. If Facebook just keeps kicking me off, that just means that's one less hassle I have to deal with later, fighting them about the audio that they're trying to steal.
That's my motto. Yeah.
All right. So here we go. Oops.
Yeah, we got to do a different layout.
First, we got to get straight. Then we do it. All right. Come on.
There we go. So we set up this store, and it doesn't have the categories and anything in it yet, but you can get some of the BSO stuff, like the stickers, the shirts, the cups.
Big sexy outdoors.
Big sexy outdoors, baby. But since I run both, I threw on, just so we can get them if you want them, Dante and Karen blanket. So you too can lay with Dante and the Mayo heiress. You notice what's on the bottom here? What's this on the bottom?
Looks like a Madness logo to me.
That looks like it to me too, but I'm a blind Cyclops, so I mean. And I got the water bottle because any Karen needs a water thing.
Mm-hmm.
Then I put up a hoodie and the T-shirt this is the one we're sending out to Lou. This is the one that's coming in the mail. It's not here yet, but as soon as it gets in, I'll send it out to her. And there you go.
Lou did the art. Lou, our favorite Slaughterville artist, right there.
Yep.
She did the art on that, and she's getting one of them shirts right away because, yeah.
And we have them from extra small to big fat guy like me. So that's all set up and ready. You can go in there anytime you want.
Dude, I'm liking the blanket. I really am.
Yeah. It's a Sherpa.
I have a camo blanket about the same size. I'll trade you.
Yeah, it's a Sherpa. It's pretty nice. I ain't gonna lie.
That's awesome, dude.
Yeah, just to see you on there. I thought that was a kick.
I don't know. We got.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I don't know. Hi, Nayabushi, whatever. I don't know what you're asking.
Oh, I missed it. I'm sorry.
Twitch is weird. I don't know. Yes, it looks very cool on the merch. It does. It does.
I know, right? Everybody should want that blanket. It is just,
Yes.
yeah.
Has Laurie seen that?
No, you. This is where I'm debuting it. Nobody else has seen it yet.
Oh,
This is the first.
Laurie, I hope you're what? Oh, jeez, Laurie, you got to look.
With the Boss shirt and the open-toed shoes that got messed on, and the cattle prod, the stress relieving device, all good. And they're 3 different sizes: large, medium, and a small one, of course. You know, but I wanted to give you as much as possible. That was that. So, what do you think?
I'm digging it. No,
Yeah.
put it back up there. I just messaged Laurie. I'm trying to get her to come look.
Oh, okay. Give me uno momento, por favor. Because you know how it is: present, share screen, then you got to hit the thing again. But when you come into it,
Mm-hmm.
But when you come into it, that's what you're going to see is the main page. Yeah, that's the full image. It did have to cut off part of the shoes. I mean, it just is what it is from the picture. But I wanted to make sure we had all of that prominent. Plus, I put our logos on the bottom of it because we're gonna, right? That's what we do. Always be promoting.
Got to. I've looked over at a lot of missed opportunities.
Yeah.
Over the last 4 years. Stuff that people really like that nobody did anything with. Gotta put it out there.
Exactly. I'm the worst at it. I'm not going to lie. I'm the worst at promotion because I'd rather be just working, let somebody else handle it.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is what you see when you first come in. It's going to say BSO, the Big Sexy Outdoors, because that's what we build it for. That's our main thing. I build it for Ben and I, which we're on tonight at 9, by the way. I like this sticker. I just want to show. I'm just a big fan of this sticker here. I just like that one. It has the turkey, fish, and the deer head. Then our logo in the middle with the crossed arrows. But anyway, sorry. I just like that one. Scrizzy Scroll.
Everything you like. That's why we're here.
I thought we were just here hanging. But yeah, we got the T-shirts. We got hoodies up to, again, big fat guy like me size because I got to have them. I like the water bottle. Wraparound image and all. The tumbler, though, really brings the picture and the logo on. So you can have your Karen wine in there if you want, you know.
I'm thinking flask now.
They do have them, and I could probably get one on here, but I honestly didn't think of it until. And then the blanket. Yep, all 3 different sizes: the small, the medium, and of course the large one.
Nayabushi, this is Slaughterville is not only a graphic novel, it's an RPG, it's a tabletop game. Chris has taken this to every level that there is. So if you're feeling his passion, that's because he's put a lot of work.
I've been working with this game, just the Slaughterville one, for over 10 years. I've had, oh dear God, 6 or 7 different projects based on it, all fund and succeed, of course.
On May 20, but it's kind of different, a little bit different, right?
If you've ever used the Year Zero engine from Free League, the same one that they use in Aliens, Blade Runner, Walking Dead, that's the one that we use for Slaughterville because I really like their fear mechanic and the stress, as well as the mental. They call it mental critical injuries, but it's the insanity table, right? Whenever you go insane. Plus, what I did is I took Blade Runner and I mixed it with, I liked their step die system with Blade Runner with the ABCD. And then I mixed it with the stress mechanic from Aliens and I put them together. And that's where Slaughterville came from. So it's a little bit of both.
And if you guys remember last month, we were playing that that ad that sounded like a Hallmark ad?
Yeah.
A nice family in the country. Blah, blah, blah. That was cannibal rednecks from Slaughterville. Okay. That's what we do. We're trying to have a good time. This is what it's all about. And I'm thinking Flask.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to add one.
I'm thinking
Madness.
Flask with maybe with just Dante. just cut her all the way out of it, right?
But yeah, if you like, I'm not
No.
saying you have to, but if you want one, they're here hanging.
You know what I'm talking about, right? You know what I'm talking about. Just this part.
Mm-hmm.
Just this guy on the Flask, right? Yeah.
Oh yeah. It definitely. So that's what it does. Is everything you do, you feel like a lot of if you come up against a giant spider, of course you're going to be stressed out by this, and you have a chance to resist it and all that. But you'll see when we play. But those stress dice can either help or hurt, because as you're more stressed, your senses are heightened. So you roll the extra stress dice, and if you get a success on the stress dice, well, then it helps you. If you get a 1 on it, then you panic. You freak out. And we do a panic table where you can either drop your items.
I lost my weed last week. I couldn't find my weed. It was horrible. It was horrible.
Yeah, you can cower in a corner. Laurie, Karen, as we call her, lost her memory. She had amnesia for about an hour, which was fun because she couldn't remember who she was or why she was there. And then she went catatonic for a little bit. And
then when it came down to we found the way out of the asylum.
Then she cattle prodded people.
It just shows where the rolls of the dice actually really have a lot to do with the game, because we were rolling to leave, and we were just all rolling perfect rolls, and there was nothing Chris could do to stop us from getting out. It was just like, the rolls of the dice, won it for us. But I don't really feel like we won that. I feel like it's still. I feel like it was still, we know there's some funky shit going on in the asylum, but I don't feel like we solved it.
Yeah, there was definitely some stuff you missed, which is what I'm taking into account when I'm doing your experience for it. You escaped the asylum. You didn't solve the asylum. Let's put it that way. Yes. Yeah, catatonic Karen with the tactical tatas.
Karen had taken it over, and it became we need to get out of here rather than we need to figure out what's going on here.
That's all right.
And
you know what? That's the fun about the game.
People, it was great. We really had to roll with what she was doing because she was laying down good track, right? It's like being in a music studio. Somebody lays down a good bass lick. You don't waste that. You build up, right? You know what I mean? She was laying down some good track, and we followed on it. The problem was then we all got away when the time came, when there could have been more bad stuff happen to us, but we all rolled perfect and got out the window. It was like,
and that's the fun part about any of these things. Like he says, you can leave the asylum, but will the asylum leave you? You're right. That kind of thing is going to stick with them because of the traumatic effects and all. And I'm going to be honest, Mr. Pops, you've been saying some things that I'm chuckling at because I know they are so wrong. But it fits with where your character is. You have to assume what you think, even though I know, man, he is so far off. But this
is why I haven't read the books.
It's fun to watch it develop.
Yeah, I mean, now I know the slasher, I know Jack the Ripper because I've read those core stories, right? I haven't read these other ones because we're going to play them. I don't want that. I don't want that heads up. I want to work my way into it. You know what I mean? Now, this is your next actual happening, but this already exists. The game already exists.
Yep.
And we have played it. It's in the in one of the playlists on the Madness Gaming playlist. Gods of Metal. We have played this one live on the air. It's a tabletop card game. And go ahead, hold that back up again. Show.
Oh, sorry, I was reading the comment. Karen literally lit a fire.
See that? You can recognize who a couple of them people are. I'm sure.
Yeah, well, sure. That's the point. Legally distinct from.
Yes.
But this one is the Eternal Vigilance Tour. You're going to be able to get the base game, but this is mainly a few extra bands, some new overlords, and more metal cards. All of this as we go through and unlock it. And now,
talking about overlords, you're trying to build the perfect song to defeat the overlords. Okay, so you're building a band and you're trying to put together the awesome tune that'll whoop the overlord's ass, and there's a whole bunch of them. So it's not like you just whip one and win the game,
right?
You know?
Yeah, what this is you pick a position as a band member: lead, bass, vocals, or drums, and you'll get your own starting deck, and you're actually standing on the stage, and you're trying to stop these overlords, as he was saying, and their demons from taking over reality. And the way you do that is you overturn song cards, and you build a beginning, middle, and end of this song to try and make, heavy metal music. And every time you complete a song, all of the decibels or the power that you've built up on your guitars or your drums or whatever instruments you have get placed on the overlords, and that's how you deal damage to them. And these are some of the songs that we have. I didn't pull out the whole stack, but you're looking to build a beginning.
Profanity. That's a rap song.
Yeah. There's a beginning. Here's a middle, and good. And there's an end. And when you get them, they actually do line up. And the lyrics, I wrote lyrics for it. I went weird. I know, I get it. But it fits. It's fun with it. And you're trying to buy cards to make your band better. Just make it stronger overall and try to have, like I said, you have to beat 6 of the overlords in order to win before this metal track gets all the way to the end and the overlords get too strong and they take over reality.
Do you remember how when we were playing, it was like we couldn't get a middle of a song. We had the beginning and the end, the beginning and the end, beginning and the end, and we couldn't get a middle. And it was like, that was crazy.
Now we do have with this one, there's going to be a special guest band member that's going to be a part of all bands. And let me get in here and so I can show it to you. No, if I had half a brain, I'd be dangerous today. There it is.
Mr. Chris, what up? Also, Christgau from rock and roll band Five Finger Death Punch. Heard that you're about to launch your newest board game, Gods of Metal, where you take on the persona of different metal musicians to stop the overlords and their demons from taking over reality. I think I know a metal musician that can help you fight those overlords and those demons. That is me, Christgau. So, shout out to you, Chris. Shout out to all of the Laughing Rogue crew. And shout out to Gods of Metal. I will be in there taking over reality from the demons and the overlords. Christgau.
It's
Just like it says there on my hat, in case I forget. I do play bass.
beautiful.
Yep. Yeah. So I thought that was pretty cool. I mean, he didn't have to say, yeah, I want to do that. And he did. And so I'm going to use this card, or this image, I should say, for his card.
Dude. I train boarded for sure. You're going to have to send me to that so I can play it every time we talk about Gods of Metal.
All right. I'll send it off to you.
Yeah, for sure. Or add this to your promo video.
Mm-hmm. Whoops. Here I ended up stopping the darn.
Edit this in with your, make something cool with this in it and send it to me.
Yeah.
It talks about the game too, some graphics, whatnot. You know what to do. I want this though. That's fucking awesome, dude.
Nice.
Christgau, everybody. From
Yeah, and like I said, he did not have to say that he wants to be in it, and I'm not, because I would have felt bad for asking. You know how I am, right? But he goes, he said he wants to be in. So like, who's going to turn that down? So I found this picture of him, and I'm like, yeah, that's the one you got to use.
That's awesome.
Yep. So he's awesome. Special guest coming on in. So that'll be pretty cool.
Dude. It's this is where the snowball starts to roll downhill.
Mm-hmm.
And then more and more people go, oh, that's cool. I'm gonna be in on that. I'm gonna be in on that. Before you know it, you're gonna have a guest band.
I'd love it.
That people can also compete against. Wow. Yeah.
Yeah, we have, and there's the link for it if you want to go sign up for it.
Yeah. It's also I think it's down in the description as well. If you watch this on the replay, look, guys, this game is fun. We've already played it. We played it online. I think me and Max and you. Who else?
Yeah.
I think there was 4 of us that played it that day. But look, we had a great time, and we weren't even all in the same room together. No,
you didn't. You don't really have to be, but you can. And then, so our new bands, like we have bands like Strangle Gun, Infected Blood, Unholy Fog, Dark Funeral, right? So our next bands, the ones we're going to hopefully unlock here, are Holy Cannibal, and they're all about sacrificing their own cards in order to help everybody else and hurt the overlords. And then a new overlord, Salos. And what I did is I actually went to the you wouldn't know, it's the Demonic Encyclopedia. If I could remember the Latin name, I would say it, but I don't remember it. And I went through and I pulled the actual Lords of Hell out, and I studied their ability. I studied who they are, and I translate that into the Overlord. And we're going to add new song cards, new demons, and we have plenty of videos on this game because it's been around for a couple of years, and we're finally getting around to doing an expansion for it because we've had so much fun with the Slaughterville stuff, right?
Oh, yep.
But yeah, now I want to get back to the Gods of Metal. I want to get more of it out there because I like it, obviously. Yeah. And I know you will too.
Dude,
yep.
I got it. Okay, I said that to Dennis. I had to make sure he got it to him.
Oh yeah, it is almost that time already. All right, well, I guess I'll let you go then.
No, you hang out. Look, you're the one that introduced me to this dude. You're gonna hang out as long as you want. I'm just gonna dip out right when he gets here. I wouldn't even know him if it wasn't for you, right?
Well, I got about 15 minutes, and then I got to start making supper, or else because it takes an hour to cook.
So keep talking.
Okay. Now, let's see. So what you're going to be able to do with this, I actually have this set. It's almost a guaranteed fund because the goal is $1. Because we have the games in hand. They're here. Okay. We don't have to worry about getting it manufactured because I've got it now. But I wanted to save it all for the Kickstarter because I want to get the extra bands. I want to get the extra overlords, the more song cards. I mean, I love the songs, as fun as they are to put together, I always like to see more of them. And it's really simple to play. You draw your hand, go through the overlord abilities, then you overturn demon cards, and then you buy cards and deal damage to the overlords. Repeat.
You taught us to play that game like in no time, really.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. I could probably have it on a 1-sheet rule book, but I made a normal rule book because I wanted to explain everything in detail. But yeah, it's not hard to pick up and learn. And if you like print and play, you can grab a print and play copy. You want to go digital? That's up to you. I know shipping overseas is a pain in the junk. In fact, look at this. Shipping overseas, honestly, is the roughest thing. US, we can ship it for $10 anywhere. But Canada's $45, UK's $49, rest of the world is $60. Because it's just that's how much it is to ship it from the US to those places. And I wish it were different. I really do, but that's the way it is now. And we have to do what we have to do that way.
Have you talked to RJ? Just curiosity.
I've spoken to RJ, but that's a different story.
About possibly handling your fulfillment.
I haven't spoken to him about handling fulfillment. No.
Yes, you should. I'm just saying, look.
Hey, if he can get it cheaper for me to go overseas, we'll talk.
It's like this. It won't cost you anything.
I gotta mute. I gotta blow my nose again.
Okay. It doesn't cost the creator anything for RJ to fulfill their stuff. The cost comes out of the shipping. Okay. But he's got the connections all over the place already for doing some of this international shipping without the hassle of it, you know.
Yeah. Like I said, I'll talk to him.
Having them already in hand, it's like, you know, you just send him the shit. But I mean, this one, you've already got it all there. But like next time, it's like you just have the stuff shipped to him.
Yeah. And well, we're not launching this until probably mid-April or beginning of April. We just wanted to build up a little hype on it before we launch. And because, hey, the higher we go, right?
Definitely want to get you guys together because he could probably alleviate a lot of the back end stress for you, because then all you got to do is hype it and he's handling all the fulfillment.
Yeah.
You know, and
you know, I hate stress on my back end.
When I met RJ, he was doing it out of one little tiny room. Now he's got 3 fucking storage units in a warehouse. Yeah. So, you know, yes, it is. Import-exports.
Yeah.
But that's why you go to somebody who does it already.
Yeah.
Sorry, as established, you know, knows what a package weighing this much is going to cost going there. So he already knows all that shit. It's like he has very extensive databases for shipping costs and whatnot.
I'm going to do that.
RJ's on top of that shit, man, for sure. Definitely going to get you guys talking.
Sorry. That's Big Sexy Outdoors. We got to go to the other one.
That's good stuff, too. I saw Gone Hunting over there. Yeah?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Gone Hunting is another game that Chris created for that very, you know, it's Gone Hunting, but it's not really hunting. What I'm looking for right
I'm
now,
also working on an expansion for that, too.
I'm looking for where we played the Gods of Metal game.
I'm sure it's in there. Now, this here, when it first comes up, that's my old logo. We've since changed. But here's the trailer for it.
An ancient darkness is breaking through into our reality. The overlords are coming. They're demons united. They'll stop at nothing to tear our world to shreds. And the only thing that can stop them is the power of metal. You have been chosen by the gods of metal to lead this crusade of finger-shredding fury. You must write the sick riffs, craft the awesome lyrics, find unholy rhythms, and set the heads banging. Show the overlords that their darkness is nothing compared to yours. Gods of Metal is a co-op deck-building game for 1 to 4 players. You and your bandmates must work to create the most powerful band in human history. Find mystical instruments of legend, outlandish costumes to improve your powers, and recruit mascots to help you battle the overlords. Find the power of pure decibels and use them to destroy your enemies by crafting songs that will literally blow their minds. Form a band. Save the world. Gods of Metal. Now on Kickstarter.
Super cool.
I just looked.
If that don't get you excited, I don't know what will.
I'm having a hard time finding the Gods of Metal. Ooh.
We'll find it then. I'll get it for us. Hey, Dennis.
Hey, Chris. Hey, Pops.
How you doing?
I saw Chris trying to sneak out before I got on here, and whatnot. I saw. It's fine.
I don't like bothering people. You know how it is. I should have worn my Lycan shirt. I have the Lycan shirt upstairs, and I have the sticker on the back of the laptop.
Oh, awesome. The did Pops tell you that we were giving you crap because you and I are both in Pennsylvania, but only one of us went to Grand Rapids to hang out with Pops. So
No, you've both done it once. Next time, you guys.
We got to do it together.
I was going to say this year, or as soon as the sign up goes up, anyways. My plan is to go back to Grand Rapids, so we'll see.
Actually, there's two. You know that one's in California.
Yeah, the spring one. Yeah, that one I'm not. I already have something going on at the exact same time, but I'll be in Michigan 3 times this year, or 2 times, maybe 3, because Grand Rapids in the fall, and then Lansing in July, and then maybe Motor City, maybe.
I just hit the people at Lansing up for press passes. Let's see what happens. Huh?
Yeah.
If it happens, I'll be there.
If we do the fall, I can bring my rifle. We can go hunt. We got all this kind of stuff.
Oh, dude.
I was going to say, my brother would be down for that. He was hunting last time I was up there. He had literally just gotten a deer, like one of the days while I was at the show. So
it's opening weekend.
Yep.
That show is opening weekend because that's what Mark was. If you saw the interview, we were talking about it. It's like every year that show is on opening weekend of deer hunt season. It's like, the attendance is being hurt a little bit.
A little bit, at least a little bit.
There's a whole bunch of people standing out in the deer stands all weekend long that weekend. They ain't But hey, everybody, I want to introduce you to, if you do not know Mr. Dennis Robinson. I know him because Chris introduced him to me year and a half ago. What's up, Rosales? And Chris has a book called Lycan, and I think I'm repping it.
Yeah, you got 2 pins on there from Lycan. Yeah. Say every time I see that hat, it's got more pins on it. So you're running out of real estate. You're gonna need a sombrero pretty soon.
It's almost a helmet now.
See you, Chris.
Oh no, I was saying hi to the roast.
Sorry, I thought you were heading out because I remember you saying you had to leave in like 15 minutes to go make dinner. So I figured you were quietly peacing out.
No. I also have your campaign up if we're sharing.
Oh, sure.
There you go.
Look at that. $7,500. Rub it.
Yeah, we just hit 3 quarters today.
Nice.
And I finally got that elusive Projects We Love badge. So
yep,
it finally happened.
Nice. And hey, 10 years, I've never gotten one.
Do you have any idea what it is that made them want to give it to you?
No idea.
No
idea. Because I do Dragon Con each year, and I've been doing that for 7 years now. And I moderate panels and things like that. And I've been doing the last few years, I've been doing some indie comic panels.
Mm-hmm.
And the last 2 years, the woman who was running comics for Kickstarter was also on those panels, which allowed me to ask a bunch of questions, from the standpoint of what I wanted to know. Mm-hmm. And I thought that was going to be my in to get the Projects We Love, but it didn't really matter because she just forwards it to the review team. So literally, from my understanding, it's just whoever looks at it just has to like it. Yeah. So it's complete personal preference of whoever gets it. So
I like this cover.
Yeah, that's from Matthew Sutton.
There you go, folks. It just doesn't mean as much as you thought it did. One guy liked your cover.
Yep.
Now this one, don't get me wrong, this one is sick. I like the duality of this one.
Sure. I think the bottom one there is the retail exclusive cover, and I do think that one's my favorite just because it is so gnarly.
Yeah,
that's screaming.
Yeah, that's done by an artist named Maria Wolf, and it's apparently it is the easiest thing to get her to do anything if it involves wolves or werewolves. And so I met her at Baltimore Comic-Con through a mutual friend, John Engel, who runs New Dimension Comics out of Pittsburgh. And he was like, hey, you got to go talk to her and see if you can get her to do a cover because she'd be sick. And I had not heard of her at that point. And I went over and looked at her art, and yeah, it's amazing. Like all of her art has that kind of feel to it. And she does like a lot of werewolves and monsters and stuff like that. So she and I got to chatting, and yeah, the cover she ended up making, I think, is fantastic.
Now, give everybody a little taste of what Lycan is about, because it's not your normal werewolf type story.
So yeah, so
different.
Yeah, so the Lycan Solomon's Odyssey series is the story of the world's first werewolf. It's a little horror, a little mythology, a little adventure, a little history. So the book series begins in 8000 BC, and that first book is the origin story, sort of sets up the world, how everything works, and that kind of a thing. And then each book in the series after that, it's the same character, but it moves a little bit further through time as he, interacts with different mythological creatures and monsters and gods and things like that from different regional sources. So the second book goes into ancient Arabic monsters and folklore. This book, the best way I describe it, is H.P. Lovecraft meets Gilgamesh. So a little bit more of a Sumerian feel to it, mixed with some cosmic horror. So again, we're opening things up. And then the next book, which is written, hasn't gone into production yet, but it's been written, is set in ancient Egypt. And then we go to Greece, and then Journey to the West, and all this other stuff. So yep, it bip bops around.
It's really good. I love the first book.
There you go.
Now I think this Rosales has a question, and it's this one is like, it's kind of what's your audience about? What's your audience into?
So it depends on who you ask. So in terms of the best perks that people seem to like the best, the easiest one obviously is, you get the book, but you get, as Pops probably would already agree to, the glow-in-the-dark enamel pins people really like. And then they also get their name in the book on like a special thank you page. That's the easiest to get into that people seem to dig. In terms of like the cooler stuff, especially for what we added for this particular campaign, we have crochet werewolves, which I actually happen to have one here next to me. So these little adorable guys.
I like that because I have a crochet prom. You see, I like the little crochet things. Those are cool.
See, I met a vendor at one of the many conventions I went to last year, and then she and I got to talking, and yeah, we sort of agreed to work together to make these little werewolves. So I think they're pretty cute. People seem to be excited. So her name is Crystal, and let me look up her social media.
Give her a little love.
'Cause I think it's a dorkable design, but I don't want to say it wrong if I'm wrong. So yeah, her name's Crystal. What's her at? Oh yeah, adorkable_designs. So yeah, she does that.
Designs. Cool.
Yeah, I'll put it in the chat. At adorkable_designs. Yeah, she's super awesome. She and I talk quite a bit, and I was super happy with how the crochet werewolves turned out. But also, we've got miniatures and things like that. I know one of the other favorites, the people who do back at that level, even though it is a higher one, people really do dig the hockey jerseys. I get a lot of comments on the hockey jerseys when I'm out and about, both from vendors and from attendees. And those I know that have them really enjoy them. But also at that tier, you get to die in the next book, which those who have done that seem to really, really dig too. So, I ask you for certain types of pictures, you give those to me, and then I give them to the art team, and they draw you dying a horrific, grisly death in the next book. And then I make an 11x17 print of your death page, and then that's one of your rewards too.
Nice.
Sweet. That does sound like a killer perk. Now, see, I'm kind of a simple guy. Stuff that I actually am going to use.
Sure.
I'm actually going to appreciate. Okay.
Yeah.
Sketch covers are cool if you're an artist, right?
Sure. Yeah.
Okay. I read a lot of books. I love bookmarks. I actually use bookmarks. Okay. They don't just get thrown in a drawer and forgotten about. I actually use them.
So the first stretch goal is a bookmark, actually. So as long as we hit the stretch goal, everybody who backs at a physical level gets a bookmark, and every other stretch goal we get.
Yeah. Everybody does trading cards, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like at some point those could become a little niche collector indie thing all of their own, right?
Sure.
Because you don't see like sets of them, like Rosetta art. It's not like that. It's like 2 or 3 on this campaign, 2 or 3 on that campaign. And I'm just feeling like someday somebody's going to go, look, I've got 150 different indie creators trading cards as a set. And what do you give me for it?
Yeah, like Garbage Pail Kids.
Yeah.
It's like they're down the line somewhere. Somebody's going to go, I really want to find this one card that Chris did in Slaughterville. And somebody's going to go, oh, yeah? What are you going to pay for it?
I actually do have a card. Funny you mention it, that I only made 2 of. And somebody wanted their elf design in the game. And I didn't put it in the main game because they only wanted it for themselves. So I made 1 for me and I made 1 for them. That's it. So, but no, I do got to bounce. Remind me to get you, Mr. Dennis, the Slaughterville stuff for Botched.
Okay. Yeah.
Because I have my Botched sticker on my computer too, because I love it.
No worries. Good seeing you again, man.
You too. It's been fun.
It's been a while.
I know. I'm sorry. We got to get more convention stuff together. That's my fault. That's me. That's on me. All right. I'll catch you all in a little while.
Bring them together,
See ya.
It's good seeing you, Chris. I'll talk to you. Man, Chris was helping me this morning. My computer was just. I had a very stressful morning, Dennis. I didn't know if we were going to have a show today.
I had a very stressful afternoon myself because of work stuff. So yeah, no, I 100% feel you. So because now I have to fit a full week's worth of work into 2 days because of some technical issues. So it's good. No, everything's great. It's a great day.
I'm not sure what FOMO is. What is FOMO?
It's a fear of missing out.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yes, that does happen because they do have a time when they end.
Yeah.
Okay, there is a deadline for you to get in on the order. Now, granted, most of these people, once the campaign fulfills, then this stuff goes up on their website. You can go get it later.
Well, so for me, the higher end stuff is Kickstarter exclusive. So I don't sell it anywhere else. So like being able to die or, get killed horribly in the next book, that is only in the Kickstarters. Like I don't do that anywhere else. And then the jerseys also, it's just in the Kickstarters. It's not anywhere else. So
pretty much just referring to the book itself. Tchotchkes rarely go outside of the platform they're on. Usually you got like a Kickstarter exclusive cover. You won't see that book on Indiegogo.
Sure. Yeah.
But I usually, when I'm talking, I don't go into all the, we covered obviously, but I don't back at the big, I'm a comic fan.
Yeah.
Okay. Plushies are cute. Do I need a bed covered with plushies? No, I don't. Now if one of the grandkids come down here and you, Grandpa, I want that Anubis plushie, then I'd have to think about, okay, come Christmas or birthday time, and order a book from Corissa and get one of them Anubis plushies. You know what I say? You know what I'm saying? It's not.
Yeah, no, 100%.
I look at the book. I'm looking for the talent. I'm looking for the books, the guys that are going to still be here giving me more entertainment next month.
Yeah. And there are some people that are looking to have a bed full of different, indie comic plushies and all that stuff. So, that's the kind of the point of the Kickstarter is you're trying to have as much for as many people as humanly possible because you're just trying to scratch as many, sort of things.
This is what I would say, Rosales, and I'm not trying to be funny in any way. The first mistake you make is not going to fund my comic. That's the first mistake you make. I recommend and endorse Fund My Comic as a crowdfunding platform because the fees are less.
Okay.
It's run by comic people.
Okay.
And there's no lawn chairs. Okay. It's the cooperative comic. It's for comics.
Mm-hmm.
Comic.com. It's a crowdfunding site. The thing is that you have a human your campaign.
Yeah.
Okay. Campaign's approved. Nobody's gonna run and go, okay, Steph, you need to take that down. Luke's gonna go, yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
it's your campaign is up. It's
Well-
down for a reason. You won't be shadow banned. Somebody goes and types your name into the Fun Comic search bar, they're going to see yours. It's not going to be bold. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They
Well-
won't remove, it's 3%, bro.
Yeah. Well, it used to be where there was only like just maybe 2 or 3 big crowdfunding platforms. Now it feels like there's more and more. Like even BackerKit has been trying to get more. Like they started their own, crowdfunding platform. Because I know when BackerKit hit me up to try out their stuff, they were like, "Hey, you could do your campaign on here." I was like, "I've already been planning on the Kickstarter for like 8 months at this point. I'm not changing gears right now, anyways." But as far as to answer Rosala's his question, so one of the big things is to take your time and do your research. So, for instance, I'll tell you a story. One of the shows, well, I did a lot of shows last year. I did 27 conventions last year, and there was another creator that I met at a few of them. She does like apocalypse books, and her husband and I used to talk quite a bit because we're at shows so much. And I always talk about Kickstarter crowdfunding to just about anybody. And so one day he was like, "You know what? That's a really good idea. I'm going to do that." And I got home and I got a notification about 2 hours later that said, such and such has launched a Kickstarter. And I was like, "What are you doing?" Like, you have to like put some sort of plan. Like, you have to plan this months and like it takes so much time
Work into it, yeah.
to do a good crowdfunding campaign. You can't just slap it together unless you're like a big name person who, they just put anything out and immediately like,
Sanderson, Kickstarter.
yeah, exactly. Keanu Reeves, like he doesn't even need to do any advertising. He's just like, "Hey, by the way, I'm doing a thing, go back it," and people would do it. For indie people, it's a lot harder and it takes a lot more work. For this Kickstarter, I had to do, I don't even know how many hundreds of hours of work I put into this one. Like I put in a dumb amount of work starting a year ago. Now you don't have to do a year, but even like 6 months would be really, really good to do and start to research. And a lot of times what I do is I go to other Kickstarters that are in similar veins and I look at what they're doing. And I sort of look if there's something that I could be doing better that I'm not already doing to just get some ideas, especially with stretch goals and rewards and stuff like that. In terms of like how the layout is, yeah, you can discern a little bit, but that's sort of like personal taste, I think.
Yeah.
But the rewards and stretch goals, those are usually the things that people struggle with the most. And I certainly did, especially with my first one. I made them way too pricey because that's the other thing. You want to make sure when you're planning your stretch goals that you're not breaking your own piggy bank to make
Pay
those
for themselves.
Yeah. So for instance, with the second book, I did simple t-shirts, but they were glow in the dark. And what was quoted to me as an estimate was not what they ended up being. So I charged $25 for the shirts and I ended up paying $30 for the shirts. So every time somebody bought a shirt, I lost $5. So you have to be careful. And that goes into the planning too. So now, when I'm way, way before the Kickstarter even goes out, I'm like, okay, what is the cost of this versus what am I charging for this? And sort of do a breakdown. And spreadsheets are your friend. I don't have any calculations in them. It's more just to have everything organized so I can look at it and be like, okay, well, if this costs this, then I want to make a reward that has this at this level and sort of like, add them up that way. So I would say the biggest mistake would be not doing your due diligence and research and planning and all that stuff. Like take your time, take lots of notes, write a lot of things down, research other campaigns, reach out to other creators, in fact, because creators are always good at helping each other and will almost always give you some good insight.
One of the things also I would tell anybody who's never done this before,
yeah,
you don't want the hassle of fulfillment.
Yeah, that too.
And Critical Blast does fulfillment at no cost to the creator.
Huh.
It doesn't cost you a dime.
Wow.
Okay. Because he has those spreadsheets you're talking about. He's a logistics major. Okay.
Okay.
He's been fulfilling campaigns for a few years now for people. He's fulfilled some big campaigns. Okay. He knows what he's doing. And that includes tchotchkes and signed and books and everything you can think about, right?
Mhm.
He's handled all of it. Now he's doing Wesley Snipes' Exiles. He's doing Fiendish and Perfect 10. He's like a bunch of books that are out right now, right?
Yeah.
That he has to fulfill. Like all of these are hitting him at the same time. And he's hiring people.
Huh.
Okay, he's got a warehouse now. When I met RJ a few years ago, he was doing it all out of one little room, right? And he's grown and grown and grown. But the thing is he knows what he's doing. He has experience at this. He's fulfilled dozens
Sure.
of campaigns for people.
Oh, I don't know if we lost you or not. Can everybody else in the chat hear Pops, or is it just me? Nope. I think it's everybody. Okay. Well, I don't know what's going on. But anyways, the show will go on. I think he froze. Okay. So yeah. So as far as he lost to the winds of time, and I've heard, people use other, like he's talking about with RJ doing the fulfillment. For me, I am a bit of a control freak, and I would prefer to be entirely responsible for if things go awry. And so I do everything myself. I don't even buy, when you get Kickstarter comics, a lot of times they'll come in those really nice cardboard like packaging. I don't even do that. I buy the bubble sleeves, and I will keep my Amazon boxes like over the year, and I will cut up the boxes to make for backing for the books, and I'll wrap the books in bubble wrap, and I'll tape it to the boards, and then I'll put it in the bubble envelopes and then mail that out. It's super tedious to do all that stuff, but I have complete control over everything, and it does save me some cost. It's just a matter of it takes a lot of time to do that. So it's one of those things where, yeah, you could find people to help you cut some corners and like do that as well, or you could do it all yourself and make yourself crazy like me. Either way works. It's definitely feasible one way or another. Thanks, Lou. I haven't earlier fresh and brought him back. Okay. All right. So we'll see if he comes back. But anyways, so yeah, is there any other questions about that? Because I'm trying. So one of the other things, Rosales, in terms of like how I first approached Kickstarters, like for comics, was there was a book done by the guy who made Code Monkey Saves the World. I can't remember his name off the top of my head, but he wrote a book specifically about creating Kickstarters for comics. And that thing is chock full of good information, and I highly recommend it. It's not like the longest read in the universe, but it goes over like shipping. It goes over, the Gemini protectors. Yep. Yeah, those things. I just would rather just cut up the cardboard and do it myself, because those do cost a little bit of money, whereas the cardboard is essentially free for me. So again, because I run everything myself, I'm the creator, the writer, and everything, basically I'm paying everything out of pocket. I'm trying to cut costs wherever I can, even if it is also costing me time. And I know, the whole adage, time is money, that sort of thing, but it is what it is. But yeah, so that is a good insight. And one of the other mistakes to avoid that's in that book that I learned is the first time you do a Kickstarter, you should have your book all the way done before the Kickstarter even starts, which is kind of counter to what people think the point of the Kickstarter is, because the point of the Kickstarter is to help you pay to make the book. Well, with Kickstarter, there's a lot of mistrust when it comes to new creators, because a lot of people get burned. I've gotten burned by not even new creators, but like seasoned creators, where you pay for the thing and then it never happens, never comes out. They have like some sort of mental break or something else happens, and they're just like, I'm not doing it, whatever, and they just take the money and run. That happened with a board game, or it was like an RPG system. It was like Satanic Panic. He made a whole bunch of these RPGs and then just went silent, and then had one random update where he said, everyone's being really mean to me about not fulfilling and constantly hounding me with messages. So I'm going to go pursue my career in wrestling. And he just took the money and ran. He just took everybody's money from multiple campaigns and nobody got anything for it. So there's a lot of mistrust. So the book that was written says, have your book done before you even do the Kickstarter. So that way, when you're doing the Kickstarter, it's like, hey, if you back this Kickstarter, you're going to get the book because here it is. It's done. You can trust it. That helps go a long way. And that's what I did for my first 2 campaigns. For this campaign, the book is almost done. It's not all the way finished yet, but I wanted to do the Kickstarter right now. So it is what it is. And then the next Kickstarter, probably the book will not be all the way done either because of that too. Oh, Pops messaged me. Pops messaged me. He said the net went down. No worries. I'm just talking. So if it pops up, pop back in? Question mark? And thanks for sharing your link to RosalesComics.com. RPGs to wrestling, that's Homer Simpson level random. Yeah, and it's not like he went to like pro wrestling. He just went to like backyard wrestling or like the super indie circuit or something like that. I know somebody tracked him down from just like seeing the updates and comments and stuff like that. Somebody figured out like what one of his shows was and then went and just basically heckled him until he left. Because yeah, he took tens of thousands of dollars. Like his RPG games, they generated quite a bit on Kickstarter, if memory serves me correctly. Let me see here. Satanic Panic. I feel like I hear a Pops.
Dude.
There's a Pops.
Oh,
so yeah,
man.
to finish that story, that's Satanic Panic, for instance, $30,000 they raised and nobody got anything for it. So that's why people are mistrustful of Kickstarter. So I would say if you can do it, have your books done before you even start your first crowdfunding campaign.
Yeah. If you can afford to finance it yourself and then recoup on the campaign, by all means do it that way.
Yeah.
What's up, Ben? What's up, Ben?
Hey-o.
Oh, what a mess. Yeah, my internet, I don't know. The other night it started getting a little iffy. Went in and out a few times.
Yeah.
And last night it went out a few times. Today it's gone off a couple times. We see the truck out here in the boonies rolling around the neighborhood, but I think that's all they're doing is rolling around the neighborhood. I don't think they're fixing anything.
Well, for us too, I think it was like 2 or 3 weeks ago, Comcast said, hey, we're going to be upgrading the lines. And then ever since then, there's usually at least 1 or 2 days a week where it just goes down and the trucks rolling up and down the neighborhood checking stuff. I'm like, what did you upgrade?
Yeah.
Like what?
Not an upgrade when it don't work, guys.
Yeah, exactly. Like turn it back, make it worse because it's not better. De-upgraded, please.
Yes. You can also you can buy these bags. This is another reason you use RG. You can get these nice weather protected bags to put your Gemini in with your logo on them. And RJ does all this, guys. You don't have to worry about any of it. You just tell him what you want.
That's cool.
You know, you can get a bag with you can just get a plain white bag, whatever.
Yeah.
You know, but there's your Gemini protection from the weather, from the rain. Okay, which is the main thing that pisses me off. Is like sometimes they'll put them on the porch. Yeah, they put it on the porch right on, except that the rain's coming from the side a little bit, and it's still hitting that spot. Dude, come in there the other day, put one down on the edge of the porch where it's snowing.
Same.
Not up by the door where it's dry.
Yep.
Right?
Because they just run up and toss it and then run away. And it's like, okay, well, like move it a little bit further in. It's another foot. Just take one more step.
Dude, 12 inches farther up onto the porch and it's completely dry.
Yeah.
But it's sitting on the edge of the step getting snowed on.
Yeah.
And it's, I mean, it's a good thing for me. I look outside every day for the mail because I don't jam that in the mailbox.
Yeah. Well, so whenever I send my packages, they have stickers all over them. It says like, "Do not bend, do not bend, please do not bend." And my weather protection, I just do like a bubble, what is it? Those bubble sheets. It's like a bubble envelope, but the book is also then wrapped in bubble wrap as well inside that. So unless it's filled with water, I don't think it's getting wet.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? It's like,
Oh yeah, 100%.
Package them for war. But like I said, if that kind of stuff is what you're worried about,
yeah,
just call RJ.
Yeah.
Have the shipper send him the books. He got the Geminis. He's got the bags and boards. He's got all that shit that you put it together. He packages them beautifully. Obviously, nobody who's gotten anything from RJ has complained.
Yeah.
And nobody whose campaign RJ has handled has complained. That's a few dozen campaigns dude's handled. So it doesn't cost you anything. The cost that his money comes out of the shipping cost.
Okay.
He gives you a shipping price. He says, put this on your campaign is what it costs for shipping. He gets his money out of that.
Okay.
It don't cost you nothing. And dude handles all that for it. It's a no-brainer, guys. And according to somebody huge, it's a gaping hole in the industry. Not only that, but RJ's putting books in Walmart, Barnes and Noble.
Mm-hmm.
He's got all the connections for distribution as well.
I might need to talk to him about that specifically.
Everybody needs to talk to RJ. Look, I told that dude a long time ago I was going to get him out of that little apartment he's in and put him into something big. I was going to get him into a warehouse. I was going to keep pushing what he was doing because it was something you guys need.
Yeah.
Especially
the distribution part, because like it's not easy for an indie person to get their books out in shops. You have to do it like boots on the ground, like calling everybody.
This is the best part though, Dennis. The campaign's over. You say, here you go, RJ, and you go to work on book 2.
Yeah.
You don't have to deal with none of that crap, shipping and packaging and customer service. That's all his problem. You get to go back to working on your project.
That's pretty cool.
That's the great, and that speeds it up for you guys.
Yeah.
It takes away that 2-3 weeks you're dealing with all the shipping and packaging and waiting for stuff to come to you. And oh my God, they didn't send what I needed and blah, blah, blah. Let RJ deal with that headache.
It's probably the best sales pitch.
It's like,
yeah.
Anything you're doing, he's already done it. He knows what. I mean, if you tell him, hey man, I'm shipping this package, it's got a magnet, it's got one of these and one of these in it, and okay, you're gonna have to charge that much, it's gonna be this much.
Yeah,
because he already knows all the weights and cost and how much it costs to go to that place as opposed to that place.
Yeah,
he's done it all. So there's no surprises for him. For you guys, it's one surprise after another because you haven't done it before.
Yeah. Which that's also one of the big things if you are trying to tackle shipping yourself is, shipping can kill your campaign if you don't calculate it properly. Like I remember there was some story I'd read where they had some device, I forget what it was that they were doing on Kickstarter, but they forgot to put shipping into the cost. Like they didn't do they didn't charge for shipping. So then when it came time for fulfillment, they went bankrupt and they made over $1 million on their Kickstarter, but they went bankrupt because the shipping ended up being so much money that it ended up basically negating any of the money that they made on the product itself. So they ended up not being able to fulfill everything and just going out of business because they didn't calculate the shipping. And for me, what I do to sort of cheat is I make fake packages that are going to be the same weight.
Yes.
And then I use a program called Go Shippo, and then I plug it in and it tells me the price and I calculate, okay, how much would it cost me to ship this to Alaska? All right, that's my domestic cost, or that's what I'm going to charge domestic. Because you can't really like differentiate in Kickstarter, like, where like the shipping cost of where anything's going. It's sort of like, this is your domestic cost, this is your international cost, and that's all you can really control for.
Pick something that's the farthest away from where you're at.
Yes.
That's what I mean. RJ's already calculated that like all over the
Well, that's
world.
awesome then.
And he's setting up connections like overseas where they print it there and ship it to that from there. I mean, he's figuring all this out. Okay, he's been doing this for four years now.
Okay.
You know, and he's just gotten better and better and better and better at it. Not that he ever sucked at it in the first place. That's what's killer. Every campaign has gotten fulfilled. You know, I think he said that there's one guy out of all the campaigns he's fulfilled. There's one guy who he's never been able to get an address for to ship a book to. One guy out of like 40 campaigns or something, you know?
Yeah.
And it's like, I just don't know how to get a hold of this guy. I send him a message after he don't send me an address. I can't send him his book.
Yeah. That's how it is for me on Kickstarter, because you could send out those surveys, but if people don't fill them out, where do I send the book to? And then it's like, okay, well, you know, sometimes when you send a message through Kickstarter, it does send you an email, but it could go to spam. So it's like, okay, well, if I have their information, I could technically try and send them just an email outside of Kickstarter, but then you don't know if that's going to spam. So sometimes they just don't ever check their email and you just never hear back from them. Yep. And it's like, what are you going to do? I want to give you your thing. Let me give you your thing.
You sound just like RJ when you said, I want to give you your book.
Yeah. just let me help you.
Yes. So if it sounds a little bit like a Critical Blast commercial, that's because that's what it is. Rosales, I'm totally serious, man. Talk to RJ at Critical Blast. Eliminate, if you're a first-time campaigner, eliminate that headache completely. Just work on your project. Get your first book out, work on your second book, get your second book out. Then if you think, oh, I can probably handle that, then you ask RJ, what do I need to do to make sure I don't screw this up? RJ probably help you out. It might get bigger and bigger, and you're just like, yeah, screw that. Let him deal with it. You know, because usually a good story does collect more and more and more backers as the different issues come out, you know?
Yeah.
Look, it's solid. I wouldn't endorse it or recommend it if I didn't 100% know what he's doing is solid.
Yeah. Oh yeah, 100%. No, if you say he's legit, I definitely would believe it, because you're about as straight shooter as a person I've met. So like, if it's got the pop seal of approval, you need to make a sticker that says like pop seal of approval that you just put on things.
It's the madness seal of approval.
Madness seal of approval. There you go. Yeah. Either way.
If I can find it, I'll show it to you. Let me see if I can find it real quick. Because we've got all this stuff somewhere.
That's the thing. Yeah, you got all this stuff. It's just like, now where did I put it?
I have so many files. I mean, it's partially because it's a piece of crom art that it might be hard to find.
Gotcha.
You know, but I might find it. Man, it's not in that file.
It's the same way, at least for this Kickstarter. Like I ended up making a lot of the files themselves that went on because the sizes don't work. Like Kickstarter has very specific sizes for images in order to show it all. So I just stumbled upon an image that worked. Oh, okay, I've seen that. That's awesome. But yeah, so that's what I spent like almost a full day and a half just making the images for rewards and items, like through Photoshop, like just trying to make them work so I could put them in so people could actually see what it looked like. So it wasn't just a zoomed in piece of an image. So
I had a wonderful help from Laurie Calcaterra. Put together the page, right? But it's like I'd send her something and I'd be like, man, you're gonna have to. I don't know how to size it to fit.
Yeah.
So I'd make something and I'd send it to her and I'd say, how does this look? She looks okay. Then size it right, please, and put it where it goes.
Yeah.
The part I don't know.
Yeah.
Right? She was building my campaign for me.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and it's like, yeah, it was the two of us. I consulted. I told her how I, wanted it to look. I built some of the graphics, but she's the one that made it all fit together.
Yeah.
Without her, I wouldn't have been able to do any of that shit.
Yeah.
I know
and
none of that shit.
And
that's
the underlying, like,
reason I fund my comic, because if you've never done this before, they'll put somebody on it to help you build your campaign.
That is very nice. Because
it's by comic people for
For
comic people, and the fans are starting to go there, man. There's a lot of, 5, 8, 10,000. There's a couple 20,000 campaigns on the site right now.
Awesome.
The money's going there. It's just
Yeah.
it's taken, it's been a year maybe.
I was gonna say, yeah, it's just starting out. Like it's just got to get traction. The more, as soon as somebody sees something is successful, that's when more people will start to adopt it. And then when more people adopt it and they see that it's successful, it'll just it'll snowball that way. And then Kickstarter was the same way when it came out, I'm sure, and Indiegogo and what's the other one that people use for medical bills? I forget what it is. GoFundMe, all that stuff. Like started off a certain way. Like even to this day, when I'm doing conventions and I say, "Oh, Kickstarter," they're like, "What is that?" Like there's still lots of people who don't know what it is.
Most comic fans still buy comics in the comic shop.
Yep.
They do. I mean, that's where most comics are sold, and it's sad to think that, but it's always been true.
Because it's not easy to get indie books in comic shops. Because I've tried cold calling. I go to the shops with the books in hand, and I'm like, here, that sort of stuff. And even then, sometimes shops will be like, well, the price per page of your book is really good, but the overall price is just too high. People would rather buy, 3 Spider-Man books as opposed to your one big book. And I'm like, okay, well, I don't know what you want me to do with that. I can't really do anything with this.
That's somebody who's saying that their graphic novels don't sell in their store.
Yeah.
That they sell floppies. And if you break that graphic novel into down into 3 floppies and come see me next year.
That is exactly what that person said. They were like, yeah, that wasn't even all of it. He's like, yeah, break it into like 18-page chunks and also make my store a specific cover. I said, okay.
Now that's smart from his point of view.
From his point of view, yeah.
Okay. I would look, if they're going to set me up to do signings, and help me unload these books, I would definitely do an exclusive cover for them.
Sure.
Right? You're going to set me up a Saturday where I can come in and set up a table in your store and do signings all day?
Yeah.
Help me sell these books? Hell yeah, I'll do a cover for you.
Sure.
And that's that co-opetition thing of helping each other. Everybody wins.
Well, that depends on if you're the one doing the cover, because if you have to pay to get a cover made, like for me, every cover I've ever gotten made from someone else usually ends up costing about $750.
That's what I'm saying. Are they going to help you sell books? Are they going to let you set up a signing table and make some money? Or
if I'm breaking my book into those 18-page chunks, like they said, that means those books are $5, which means it's split 50-50. So it's like $250. So you have to sell a lot of books, like a lot of books to just make back the cover cost.
For one thing, if they want an exclusive cover, they got to pay for that.
Oh, no.
Oh, yeah.
No, nobody wants to pay for anything. There are comic shops. They're like, yeah, no, we'll put your book in our store, but you got to pay for the shipping too. And it's like, I'm like meet me halfway on something. Come on now. We're already doing consignment where that's the other thing. I hate consignment like a lot because they don't tell you when they've sold the books. You have to constantly stock them and be like, hey, did you sell them? Did you sell them? And then you have to wait for them to send you the money. It's like, why don't you? I wish there was a better system there where it's like the moment it's sold, it just sends you money. But no, you just have to contact them constantly and hope that they're being honest with you. It's like, I don't really like that.
We do have some store owners in the madness that are more indie friendly.
Sure. Yeah.
They get it. Okay.
Yeah.
And that's why I encourage people to put retail tiers on their campaigns, right?
Yep.
Now, are you going to have 15 store owners run into your campaign to order your books?
No.
Probably not.
No.
But if you sell one,
and
you sold 10 books on that one, that's 10 people going to see your book.
Yep.
Because they're going to take it off that shelf, right?
Yeah.
I mean, more people are going to see it, but 10 are going to own it.
Sure.
Right. And I mean, you got to have some kind of rapport fans.
Yeah.
Okay. If you like Dennis's book and you go to your local comic store and they don't have Lycan, you have to tell them where they can get Lycan. And if you're a store owner and you call Dennis up and you say, hey man, what kind of a deal do you cut for retail?
Yeah.
Or, retail store owners, then you negotiate and you work some kind of a deal. But it's up to you fans to tell your store owners, hey, I want to see that book on the shelf. I'll buy one.
And that's part of what I say in the Kickstarter is like, hey, tell your local comic shops, especially because this one is the first time I've done a retail exclusive cover. You can't get this cover unless you buy it in a shop. So how do you go tell them to back the Kickstarter? There's retail tiers where the books are 50% of the normal cost. They get multiple books. And then they also get free stuff like bookmarks, mini prints, and an 11x17 print of the retail cover design with their store logo on it. All that's just free that I include in it. So it's definitely a good deal for them. They just have to pay up front as opposed to after the fact. It is what it is. And there are a few stores that do it. Like I mentioned earlier, like John Engel from New Dimension Comics. He was one of the shops out of the couple hundred that I called in PA that responded well. And they were like, hey, do you have retail tiers? I said, yeah. And ever since, they always back the retail tiers and they put it out. And I get good feedback from them as well. And they're good. If I have questions, I can reach out and be like, hey, what would be more enticing to a shop or, this or that. And they're more than happy to answer that stuff and, help along the way.
One of the store owners that in the madness, Johnny Reed, was in the RPG that Chris did, or that Max was doing, that Chris was in the not Slaughterville, but Tomb of Annihilation.
Okay.
Johnny Reed was playing in that game with this, but he has a store in Kansas City.
Okay.
He is also part owner, half owner of Atrocity Press. So Indie Comics is in his store, right? That's part of what he's part of this Indie Comics thing, right? So that's one guy. You got Charles Boyer in Texas that runs a store. You got the guys up here at Fanfare and Buy Me Toys in Elkhart. They put indies on the shelves in their stores. There are stores that will do it.
Yeah.
John Dexter from Alpha Dogs, he has a nice display at Fanfare in Kalamazoo. They have his books down there at Buy Me Toys in Elkhart. You get to know these people. You develop a rapport with them. When you're at the cons, guys, don't just talk to your other peers. Go talk to them vendors.
Yeah.
Some of them vendors own freaking comic stores, guys.
Yeah.
Network with them. Say, I want my books in your store.
One of the things that I would like to do more, but it's very difficult when I go to cons is, if recently I was in DC, it'd be like, oh, it'd be really cool if I could then also go talk to the shops. Well, the issue is the shop hours tend to be the same as the show hours. So it's like, well, I can't.
Closed on Monday. You can't go the next day after the show and talk to them.
And I'm not there anyways because I leave on Sunday. So it's like, because I got to work on Monday. So it's one of those things where it's like, it's a good idea in theory, but I don't have any way to actually go do it.
That's why you hope, like Buy Me Toys, they set up booths at the local cons, right? They go to C2E2, they go to, the people that are local to you should be setting up booths at the local cons.
Yeah.
And you get to know them, and they can see your stuff right there. Hey, check this out, read this, and if you like it, you can come get some copies. I'll give you a discount, whatever, right?
Yeah. You
work out a quantity for price break discount. It's really easy, guys.
Yeah.
But you have to talk to the people. It's cool to be next to Chris Claremont and be talking to Chris Claremont or Jim Shooter, whoever's in the booth next to you. That's all awesome. But that guy over there is the one that sells comic books. That's the guy you got to get good with.
Yeah.
Do you see what I'm saying? It's
who
you network with. And I really preach this to so many of my friends, man. It's who you're networking with. It's not necessarily your peers. It's the people that sell the books. That's how you sell the books. You network with those people. Okay.
Yeah.
And that's why I try to build this. I bring in show owners, I bring up shop owners, I bring in podcasters and fans and creators, and I try to bring everybody to one place so you can all find each other.
Yeah. That's the way to do it.
Madness. It's everything. It's everywhere. Dennis, it's always great talking to you, brother.
Yeah, it's so great talking to you, and I still laugh every time I think like when you came up to the table and I didn't know who you were at first until you said something. As soon as you talked, like because when I'm working a table, I'm usually by myself. That show I actually wasn't for the first time in a long time, and normally I'm just in show mode where I'm saying the same thing like over and over, and I always have a smile, all that. Like I'm in salesman mode.
Yes.
And so when you came up, I just automatically started like talking to you as though I talked to everybody else. And then the moment you started talking, it sort of like flipped it off. And I was like, oh, it's Pops.
We were about 30 feet away, and I was like, yo, Brad, look at this dude. Like, oh, that's Dennis Robinson. Yeah, that's Lycan. And we were talking for about 5 minutes, about just 30 feet away from your booth, right? And I mean, I was kind of hiding behind him because I didn't want the hat to get me.
Sure.
I didn't wear the hat that day, did I?
I don't think you did.
I wasn't wearing the hat. That's
No,
why
I don't think you
didn't
were.
recognize me when you looked up. That's why.
But the other thing is like, also like I'm constantly vigilant of people like in the immediate vicinity because I'm always trying to say like, hi, how you doing? Or like I have this whole process because the only thing I don't do at shows, I can't do it. It drives me nuts, is the cat calling thing where, or carnival barking where you're just yelling at people to come over and look at your stuff. Like I just can't do it. It's just not my personality type. It makes me feel super dirty. Like, I don't know. It's just not my thing. I know plenty of people who do it. Like my first editor, he does it and he's super successful with it. He sells out at every show, and I would probably sell a lot more books if I did it. I just can't bring myself to do it because it's just not my personality type. Yeah. So instead,
I look at Omri Compton.
That's who it is.
Yeah,
that's who it is.
Omri is lit up, right?
Yeah.
The booth. He's outside the booth. He's in the aisle. He's animated and he's passionate, but he's having fun.
Yeah.
Okay. Now I've seen the carnival barkers that are rude.
Yes.
Omri's not that guy.
No, he's not rude. He's just very good at being a salesman where like if you get anywhere near his vicinity, you're going to blink and then walk away with 10 books before you realize it and like not even realize what happened just because he's just so good at that. That's just not me. So like I just can't do it.
Look, there's not many that can run a booth like Omri does.
Yeah. Okay? Well, that's true. That's true. But like, I mean that watching him work, like that's the most successful I've seen an indie comic person be at a con because he is so good at like selling it. But nope, just gives me the shivers even thinking about it.
This. As long as you're not just looking.
Oh no. So I have a whole process. So like I'm always, I'm trying to always smile. Anybody who like gets close-ish, I say hi, how you doing, or good morning, that sort of thing. Yes, eye contact. And I'm always standing, which is killing my knees, but I stand the whole time because sitting down, you sort of like disappear behind the booth. If you're standing up, it's easier for people to like see you and make eye contact, that sort of thing. And so if anyone lingers for just a little bit on the table, I just ask, do you like werewolves? And if they say no, it's like, okay, well, thanks. It was nice talking to you. Bye. If they say yes, then I go into the elevator pitch. Well, I write a comic or I write a graphic novel about the world's first werewolf. Blah, 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 blah. And then, they may stop and read it and look at it, or they may just say thank you and move on with their day. So when I'm there at the table, like I'm constantly vigilant of who is in my vicinity, like who's entering that space where I'm going to say, hey, how you doing? Or, and the other thing I do, and I don't know if you saw me doing this at the con or not, but the other thing I like to do is I have a bunch of extra sleeves. And if I see somebody walking around with an autographed picture that doesn't have a sleeve or a print that doesn't have a sleeve, I'm like, hey, do you want a sleeve? And they're like, oh, well, how much? I'm like, it's free. I mean, I won't say no to money, but it's free. Right. And people are usually really happy about that and thankful about it. And sometimes, they'll just take the sleeve and walk away. Sometimes they'll stop and buy something. Sometimes they'll just give a tip, whatever. It's just me being nice, but it can also be an in to get somebody to stop at your table that wasn't going to before. This past weekend, I was at Awesome Con. There was a guy next to me. He had, I think it was a couple of prints that were signed. And I said, hey, do you want a free sleeve? And he wasn't paying any attention to my table before that because he'd already passed it. And I gave him the sleeve. And then he came back over to the table and he ended up buying both books and some other stuff. And I was like, if I hadn't given him the sleeve, he would never have come back and, taken another look at the table.
Now, take
So
this a step farther. Take that a step farther. Print up a whole bunch of bags with your logo on it. When you see somebody walking by with something and it doesn't have hey, you want a bag for that?
Yeah.
And you give out all your bags that, your logo on them.
Yeah.
And before you know it, there's 100 people walking around the place with your logo on their bag, and people are like, oh,
that is a good idea.
And the other fans think all them people bought something from you, and they're over there looking to see what those people got.
That is a really good idea. The only issue with that is especially for those sleeves, like I just try and go as cheap as humanly possible because I'm already operating from such a hole.
I'm thinking like cheap plastic bags.
These are cheap plastic bags, but to get your logo then put on it, then adds it adds to it.
That's definitely one of those advertising things you might be able to deduct, though.
Yes, it's just you have to eat it for a year and then you can deduct it.
You eat a whole bunch of them all summer.
Yes.
But I mean, for me, it's eyes on.
Sure.
Okay, so as many people see your logo and then they walk by your booth and they go, man, I'm seeing people with bags of your stuff all over the place. What do you got? Because they just keep seeing your bag all over the con, right?
That's true.
Hey,
it's not a bad idea. I'll have to look. Now. Damn it, Pops. Now I got to look into that. God,
I'm just saying.
Another thing I got to look at.
An idea man, and people.
You definitely are. I will give you that, Pops. You are definitely an idea man. Like you are ideas for days. At work, we have this thing called business chemistry, and it's actually scarily accurate. Like if you take a test and it'll give you like a quadrant of what you're like, there's 4 different types of business chemistry, and it is shockingly accurate how those are. But the main point of it is to also then be able to know how to work with other people, because you can see what their business chemistry type is, and they have like tips like, oh, you are definitely I would say in the pioneer category. You are I've got ideas for days. Maybe not exactly. I might not exactly know how to do it, but I've got ideas for days.
I've got the ideas. I don't have the funding.
Yeah.
And I give the ideas to all my friends, like Laurie with her poker deck. That was me and her talking on a stream. Right?
Yeah.
And it's like, it'd be really cool if you made a whole poker deck of Path the Pale Rider, and it's a backer. It's a backer, not a stretch goal.
Yeah.
A backer, what do we call it?
Reward.
Yeah, backer reward. Okay,
Yeah.
so at 50, we added poker card. At 100, we add another poker card. Now, by the time she gets to issue 9 or 10, we might have a whole deck of poker cards from Path of the Pale Rider.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying?
Because I had thought about doing a tarot card deck, but then I researched how much it costs to make a tarot card deck, and I was like, oh boy, those are very expensive. Because I love the different like custom tarot decks. Like tarot deck's not my thing, but I just love the decks. I think they're amazing.
Yeah.
And so I was like, oh, a Lycan tarot card deck would be awesome. And so I started asking around through my network of artists, and I found out how ridiculously expensive it would be to make them. But I was trying to do a deck all in one sitting. So that's an interesting idea to have it be over time. Yeah.
But I mean, a lot of ideas, man. I come up with stuff. I tell people, do this, try this, and some people are like, God damn, Pop, that was a great idea.
Yep.
I'm just trying to think of ways to help people sell books.
That's why you're the best.
I do my best. I try my best, but I should have been in somebody's think tank a long time ago.
Yeah.
Because I've had some ideas that I've tried to implement that I didn't do it right. Pissed off the sheriff of Maricopa County. I was selling anybody but Arpaio shirts. I don't know if y'all know who Joe Arpaio was.
No.
But he was like the most horrendous sheriff in the nation.
Okay.
24 years in Maricopa County, Arizona. He's the one that had Tent City out in the desert.
Oh, that guy. I do know who that is. I do know who that guy is. Okay.
Yeah. Okay, well, I had to trademark anybody but.
Okay.
And we sold shirts, anybody but Jeff Gordon, anybody but Tiger Woods, everybody who was just killing it all the time, and we got sick of seeing them win all the time.
Sure.
That was where that came from. Anybody but Jeff Gordon. I don't care who wins the race, as long as it's anybody but Jeff
Gordon. Yep.
Ding, ding, ding. Anybody but. Oh, dude. And I went and got the trademark. My mistake was I got into the political realm. I started selling anybody but Arpaio shirts. And on the back, they said vote for Tom Barrett, who was his political opponent.
Okay.
As you can imagine, he is a sheriff with power, and the first chance he got to get me under his thumb, I was done.
Yeah.
You know, so.
Man.
Yeah, but.
Jeez, that's funny though. Like, yeah, that's fantastic.
Correctly, if I'd have went to Joe first and said, "Hey, man, I'm gonna sell anybody but Tom Barrett shirts," but I'm also probably gonna sell anybody but Joe Arpaio shirts. No hard feelings, right?
Yeah.
I'm just trying to make some money over here. If I approached him first and let him know what I was doing, I might not have run into no hassle with him.
That's probably true.
If I'd have done it on both sides.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Equal opportunity, whatever.
Sure.
I was a dumbass. I was just trying to capitalize off all the people that hated him.
Yeah.
And didn't apply it to the other. If I'd applied it to both sides, he probably wouldn't have batted an eye, right?
Mm.
You know, I screwed up. I've made mistakes. I've had great ideas and fucked them up. Yes, I have.
Sure. We all have.
But anybody that knows what it feels like to have a good idea and then see it succeed, even if somebody else is making it work.
Yeah.
You know, you're the one that told them, "Hey, man, you should try this." That's still a good feeling. I don't care if I made a penny off it. You know, it's like, that's not what it's about. It's about just going out with a bit of a legacy and knowing that I help people. And so I spent 55 years of my life helping me. Now I help other people. You know,
it's a way to be. It's a way to be. There's not enough of that these days. It feels like everyone feels like they're out for themselves.
Yeah, it was a complete life change for me. COVID changed everything. Okay, it opened my eyes up to the fact that there was things I could do to help people.
Yeah.
You know, you always think, nothing I can do. I ain't got no money. I ain't got no clout. I ain't got no reach. I ain't got no nothing.
Yeah.
Well, you build those things.
Yeah.
You build reach. Okay. You build all that. You got to work at it. And it just happens. Nothing just happens for anybody. You know, they worked at it in some form. Somebody seen what they were doing. They did something to get people's attention or get the right person's attention. Do that. Get the right people's attention.
Yeah. And for indie people, usually that means even more work. I know, you know, for me, part of what I've been trying to do since the last Kickstarter, because everyone always recommends doing an email newsletter. So every show I go to, every time somebody buys a book, I ask, would you like to sign up for the newsletter? And sometimes they ask what that is. And basically I'm like, well, it's just book updates, stories from the road, and pictures of my dog. Mostly people just sign up for pictures of the dog. And so that's usually the gag that makes everybody laugh. And then they'll sign up for it. And then they get an email immediately. And over the course of last year, I have over 430 people, I think, or 450 people on that. So, I mean, you do it slowly over time. You have to, you know, put your time into it. And the idea behind that then is, you know, you're building up this community of people that is interested in your work. These are people who asked or wanted to be part of the newsletter because they wanted to see the next thing that you did. So
actually care
about
what we're doing.
Yeah.
See, that's with me too. Every person who joins the Madness Facebook group, I go look at their profile. If I don't see no comic, nothing, no art, nothing, they probably ain't here for. They're gonna be spamming some Wemu site or some dumb shit. They're not comic people, right? Yeah. I'll go look. I look at every single profile of everybody who joins the Madness, and I want to know that they're us. They're us. You know, I don't. I don't want big numbers. I want true numbers.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Impactful numbers, not just numbers for the sake of numbers.
Yeah, I want it to be people that actually care about what we're doing, and that's the same with like YouTube or anything, you know.
Yeah.
Somebody spouts off in the chat, or not the chat, but like they'll come into the comments later.
Yeah.
After the video's over, and it'll be one of those SEO digital. You know, hey, look, we'll help you build. We'll help you make your.
Oh
right,
yeah.
Right.
I've gotten so many of those spam messages on the Kickstarter. I don't remember ever having that issue on the last ones, but I've gotten dozens of them this time. And they're all the same message, all the same poorly written message. And they all say like one of the dumbest things is some of them will be like, you know, I launched a campaign and it wasn't successful because I blah, blah, blah. I'm like, you know, you can click on the profile and see that, no, you haven't ever launched a campaign. And you started this account a month ago.
Yes.
Really? Did you now? Okay. Like,
So
come on.
I'll go to YouTube and I'll block them people from my YouTube channel.
Okay.
Okay, because I don't want those people in my. They're not part of my audience. They're
Sure.
bots trying to rip my friends off, basically. So I block all of them, every single one. I don't want fake viewers. I want people to actually care what we're doing.
Yeah.
You know, so I mean, I purged the group. I purged my YouTube. All of it. Twitter, there is not a single porn bot in my Twitter account. None of that.
Now that's impressive because from what I hear, I don't use Twitter anymore, but from what I hear, it's pretty much nothing but porn bots these days.
I have over 1,800 followers and not a single one of them is porn bot.
Wow. That
Okay?
that is impressive.
Every morning I go look and you're gone. Oh, you're gone. Oh, you're gone. They're not here to buy comics.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't need people here that ain't here to buy comics, and they're sure not going to share out your project.
No, definitely.
You know, I mean, the only thing they're going to share is the OnlyFans.
Yeah.
So I do try to look out for my people. You know, if I find out somebody scamming people or whatever, you know, the warning goes out. They get eliminated. They get removed. We don't mess around, man.
Yeah. That's the way to be. Because indie people, especially, you know, they're the most susceptible to, because, you know, you get the big dreams. There was a guy I met at a convention a year and a half ago. This is 2022. Guy next to me, he wrote science fiction books. Wasn't even comics. It was just books. And he was like, oh, I've been doing this for, he said 20 years or so. He was retired, like nuclear, like reactor operator kind of guy. Yeah, pretty much Homer Simpson. And he said, you know, he'd been doing it for 20 years and he goes to cons and he sells some books here or there. But, you know, he was hoping for something a little bit more. And he said some literary agent approached him and said, hey, you know, I know why your books aren't selling and I can help you. And he sat down and listened to her. And she said, the reason that you're not selling your books is because no bookshop's going to pick it up because you don't have book insurance. And he was like, oh, book insurance? And she goes, yes, book insurance. And that's going to cost you $2,000 to get book insurance. And then coincidentally, as soon as he paid for this book insurance, which he had to open a new credit card for to get because he didn't have the money to pay for it, he then got a call from Barnes & Noble, who ordered many, many, many thousands of copies of his book. And then he very quickly got another phone call from the New York Times, because they were, or I think it's the New York Times, but they basically want to add him to the New York Times bestseller list because he'd had his book bought by Barnes & Noble by so much. That's not how the New York Times bestseller list works. It's not how many books Barnes & Noble buys. It's how many people buy books then from Barnes & Noble. But he goes, did you know that to be on the bestseller list, you have to pay $3,000 for advertising to be on that? And so he had to open another credit card to pay them another $3,000. And I said, and you've gotten like checks? And he's like, I'm supposed to get my first one really soon. I was like, uh-huh. And he goes, you know, if you want, I can send your information to her to check. Like, she can give you a call. She's out of California. I was like, sure. Because I was like, I know it's a scam, but I want to be absolutely sure so I could tell him you should stop immediately. And so he took a picture of the book.
I just wanted information so I could send it to the Better Business Bureau.
Yeah. Well, so that's the thing. So he takes a picture of the book, my comic book. That's it. He just took a picture and he gave her my email. He took my business card and he gave her my information. And he said, you'll probably get a call around noon because, they're out of California. I said, okay. I got a call at 10 in the morning. I'm like, okay, well, if she's out of California, it's 7. So that seems highly unlikely. Also, since when do literary agents call you? You're usually the one that has to call them, but okay. And heavy accent. You could hear many voices in the background. So I'm like, this is a call center. Yep, this is a call center. And so I was taking down notes while she was talking, not of what she was talking about, because again, she was also saying you need book insurance for coincidentally $2,000. I was like, that's so crazy. My one book needs $2,000. His 8 books needed a total of $2,000. That's so weird. But I took down her name and then what the name of the company was and all this stuff, and let her run for a while on her little conversation. And then I said, this was like November, December, something. I was like, yeah, the holidays are coming up. Money's a little tight. How about I just give you a call back next year? She's like, well, we could do a little bit now and then a little bit over the next few. I was like, no, right now is a bad time. I'll just call you next year. And so I immediately go on the internet and look up a LinkedIn profile. She doesn't exist. I'm like, you're going to tell me a literary agent doesn't have a LinkedIn profile. Okay. And then I look up the company and there are a few different results. The first result is the website for the company. Every other result after that is this company is a scam article, like blah, 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 blah. And if you go to that website, it's all we make writers' dreams come true and all this stuff. And one of the other funny things that the chick said while she was talking to me was, yeah, I took your book to a publisher and they're really excited about it. I said, you took a book to the publisher at what, 6 a.m? And reviewed it with them? Because yesterday was Sunday when I met the guy, and today's Monday. You didn't have the time to talk with the publisher, first off. And I said, also, what kind of book is it? And she goes, oh, it's a book. I said, it's a graphic novel. Yeah. I was like, do you know what that is? She goes, it's a book. I was like, no, it's not. It's like a long form comic book. And she goes, oh, okay, well, that's fine. It's no difference. I was like, oh, so this publisher just magically does regular books and graphic novels. I was like, okay. But of course, also the other thing I would need to do, I would need to hire them to make a new cover because my cover wasn't good enough. So it needed to be an AI generated cover art basically. And then I needed to erase the ISBN barcode on the back of my cover and put a new one on that's linked to them. So that way it gets the proper credit and blah, 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 blah. So calling around and talking to people, this call center, it's the whole scam is, you sign up for the $2,000 of insurance, then they set you up with Barnes and Noble, which is just another guy on the other side of the room. And then when you get done with them, then the New York Times calls you from the other side of the room and they just keep ringing you around. And I emailed the guy and I said, hey man, this is a scam. Like, here's why it's a scam. Like, I would love to talk to you more about it. And he never emailed me back, but I did get a phone call from that lady 2 seconds later after I sent that email. And I was like, well, block that phone number and every other phone number that came after that from anywhere near that vicinity. But again, indie people, they just want to create something and have people read it and experience it. And scam artists prey on that because they're like, yeah, we'll help you make your hopes and dreams come true. And, it's, for a low cost. But what's the cost of having your dreams come true? But your dreams never do come true. And then you're just more in the hole and it makes your life even harder to try and make the thing that you're already trying to make. So, I don't know.
Be vigilant, my friends.
Yes.
For one thing, don't give nobody thousands of dollars without talking to other people.
Yeah.
Talk to other people. Give somebody a chance to talk you out of that dumb shit.
Yeah. And if you're giving over thousands of dollars, there should be a contract of some sort if it's some official company or something like that.
And if you really want to pay people to promote you, look at the people who you see actually promoting people.
Yeah.
And give your money to them.
Yeah.
Don't give money to people you never heard of. If you've never heard of them, they're not promoting anybody.
No.
They're not doing what they said they do if you've never heard of them in this small world industry.
Mm-hmm.
Right? If you're going to give money to people for fulfillment, for whatever, for promotion, for whatever, give it to people you see actually doing that.
Yeah.
Not to somebody who says they're gonna do that for you.
Yeah. I can promise you $2,000-$3,000 right now from backers, or I can promise you this many backers. Blah 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 blah. How can you promise that?
You know what's funny about that, Dennis, is that I've been promoting people for 4 years, and I cannot guarantee that anybody's going to buy your book because you came on my show.
Yeah.
There's no guarantees.
No.
Okay, none. Only thing I can guarantee is that I'm going to do my best to get people to look at your book.
Yeah.
That's my guarantee. I'm going to try to get people to go look at your campaign, and hopefully some of them will buy it.
Yeah.
I'm going to get you out here on a show. I'm going to give you a chance to tell people about your book, about your stuff. That's what I do.
Yeah.
That's actual promotion, people. That's not an email telling you what I'm going to do for you. You can come here and see what I do. That's actual putting in work. Okay. If you're going to pay people that actually put in the work.
Yeah. 100%.
And that's, for any of it, for fulfillment, for promotion, it doesn't matter, man. Go look at them and see if they're actually doing it. If they actually do it and people are happy with what they do, that's another part. Is there a rating system? All the people that love what this guy does, and are all them people real people that you've ever heard of? Are they actual other comic creators that them people helped? Or are they just an email address?
Oh yeah, that's the big scam with the what is that on? You see it where they're like, oh, you get a ghostwriter to write you a whole book in like a week and a half or something, then you sell it on Amazon. You don't even have to do anything. You just make millions of dollars. You just have to, buy my course for like $1,000. And look at all these these are names of people. These are obviously real people saying words about how happy they are and how much money they've made. I'm like, oh, okay. Because you can't just, put words on a screen and just make up a person. Their images don't exist. Yeah, no.
How to make $20 off everybody? You print a book with a cover.
Yeah.
You sell it for $20.
Yeah.
Everybody who bought it helped you prove that you can get $20 from everybody. Right?
Yeah.
There doesn't have to be word one inside the book.
It's true.
These are the people that are just trying to get your money.
Yeah.
That's all they're doing.
Yeah.
Just trying to get your money. I've been doing this for 4 years. The only time I started asking for money is when we started thinking about we need professional StreamYard. We need it for the year.
Yeah.
I need some sponsors.
Yeah.
I need some sponsors to help make this happen and make it grow. That's all. I don't charge Dennis to come be on my show. I actually paid for Dennis's book.
It's true. He did. That is a true story. That is a true story. I have seen one of the things I did see once. I've never seen anybody else do it at a con. And it's an interesting idea, but it's not for me. She asked local businesses if they would basically sponsor the book. So like every 4 or 5 pages, she has a page of ads for specifically local businesses. And she goes, yeah, that paid for the entire production cost of the book. I didn't have to pay for anything. I was like, that would be amazing. But I also don't want every 4 pages of my book to be, a sleeve of random ads for the local bank and, this and that. And I'm like, yeah, I get it. It's an interesting idea. It's not for me personally, but.
Well, like the local ads thing is great for a fanzine.
Yeah.
Comic book, if you're going to put ads in your comic book, have it talking about other comic creators' books.
Yeah.
Keep pushing the buy books narrative.
Yeah.
If your ads are all about other books, then anybody who bought something off one of your ads, they were buying another book.
Yeah.
Okay. If you have an ad for a lawnmower, you just made Toro some money. You didn't help the community at all.
Yeah. Hey, Toros is a struggling little company that nobody's ever heard of before. Right there with John Deere. They're an up and coming company. They need those money. They need those dollars.
Dennis, I could talk to you all day, man.
I know, Pops.
Next time you come down here, we're gonna do a little hangout afterwards.
Yeah.
All right.
You know what? I found a place so I was hanging out with Henri, and the person I was there at the booth with the last time, and we went out to this restaurant that my friend had been recommended. She lives in Grand Rapids, and she'd never been to this place, but it had been recommended to her. We all ended up ordering the exact same thing, and let me tell you, have you ever had duck fat fries, Pops? They are life-changingly good. They are so good. And so we went to this place, and all three of us got it, and we all had the exact same experience, which was, holy shit, duck fat fries are this. All right, yep. And now I've never seen them since then. I know they exist, but like, yeah, no, if you can get them. So yeah, next time I'm in Grand Rapids, if you're there for that same show, we'll go to that place and we'll get some duck fat fries.
Yeah, we'll be there. I'll tell Brad we're staying late next time. For sure.
All right, sounds good.
We'll come up on Saturday. We'll stay late.
Okay.
Cool.
All righty.
Always great talking to you.
Yeah, always great.
In before this thing is over, right?
Yeah, sure.
Right. You can pop in anytime. Holler at me. Hey, I want to be on fucking Doc show or whatever we got.
Okay. No, I appreciate it. Like I said, Pops, you're like one of the nicest people I've met, especially on this crazy, comic journey. So no, there's no shushing. There's no shushing. You're like the nicest person I've met. And like, you are always so giving to indie creators, and all you ask is just that everybody helps each other out. Like that's an awesome way to be these days, and not enough people do it. And I don't know. I just can't say enough nice things about you. So you're a big sweet teddy bear. What can I say?
There's some people that have seen the other side of Pops.
That's fair.
There are people that have seen the other side of Pops, but it wasn't because I wasn't trying to do the same for them.
Sure.
Ain't nobody out there say Pops ripped me off. Ain't nobody out there say Pops a scammer. Ain't nobody out there say none of that shit.
Yeah.
So I'm good with who I am. That's all there is to that. I see a munchkin.
I was going to say, I see a small person in the background, like sneaking around.
I remember you had like a grill or whatever, one of those.
Oh, that's cool.
I don't know who that is. Who is that?
Isn't that the rock guy from the Thor movies?
Is that who that? Yeah, the rock guy.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah,
I can't remember his name.
With an H.
An H?
Yeah.
I can't remember.
Yeah. I can't remember all my nieces and nephews' names, let alone some random side character.
Had, like, 2 B's, and you connected it, so I thought
they're up over there, I think, dude. I think they're up over there on the shelf. Anyway, I'm gonna go hang out with him while he's down.
No worries, have fun. Like I said, thank you, Pops. I appreciate it so much, and can't wait to see you again.
Yeah, you bet. You have a great day. Everybody who's watching, remember, The Madness Comic on Twitter. It's over. We're back to Madness Comic. We're back to the big channel, the full reach. So you can look for us there again. Everything is going to be going back to the big Twitter channel. Thanks, everybody. We love you guys. Hey, just do the thing. Support each other. Just help each other out and do the thing. That's all. I'll play a couple more ads, and then I'm going to go hang out with the Munchkin.
All righty.
All right. It's good seeing you, Dennis.
Good seeing you too, man.
Thanks, Chris. Thanks all you people watching on the Critical Blast Twitter. It's just blowing up, man. We have 30, 40 people watching the whole show. Gotta love it, man. You guys
awesome.
Rock. You rock. Peace.
See you.
There is a creature in the swamps. It lives to destroy. The beast they call Hogzilla.
After his latest get-rich scheme goes sideways, Gary Duba, the quintessential Florida man, ends up with a stash of somebody's high-end memorabilia. His gal Crystal is on probation and preparing for the fight of her life, squaring off against Australia's Queen of Combat. Delilah's got her back in training, staying off rich foods and the nose candy. Meanwhile, Gary and his best friend Floyd have been hired to wrangle a massive, abnormally aggressive feral hog that's terrorizing the swamp and wrecking Gary's old neighborhood. Can they bag the elusive monster swine without destroying the Sunshine State? Reserve your copy of Florida Man vs. Hogzilla at FloridaManComics.com. We're bringing back funny books, y'all.
Your favorite podcast, it's Critical Blast.
Comic Books for Kids provides comic books to kids in hospitals and cancer centers across the U.S. It's a place where we can all work together to make sure every child has a comic book. 100% of all proceeds go towards the kids. It's about making a difference, and while they're in the hospital, allowing them to fly like a superhero, battle dragons, or rescue teddy bears. We are in every state in the country and now support over 160 hospitals. Every month, we add more.
Visit cb4k.org.
How do you end this thing? How do you put the... Where's the brakes on this bus? I forgot.
Jazz hands. Jazz hands.